Ethan adjusted the straps of his tool belt as he stepped out of the transport shuttle. The air of the alien outpost smelled faintly metallic, mixed with the sharp tang of ozone. He had been sent here on a routine repair mission, or so he had been told. To him, it was just another assignment, another chance to prove his skill as an engineer. The outpost was nestled on a rocky plateau of a distant planet, far from the bustling trade routes of known space. Its towers gleamed under the light of a nearby sun, their metal surfaces reflecting strange shifting colors. Ethan's boots clanged against the metallic floor as he made his way through the corridors. The hum of machinery echoed around him. Everything felt advanced far beyond anything Earth had produced. "Engineer Ethan?" a voice called, crisp and firm. Ethan turned and saw an alien figure approaching. She was tall, easily 7 feet, her skin a shimmering silver blue that seemed to change with the light. Intricate markings ran across her face, almost like glowing tattoos, and her eyes were sharp and calculating. Her armor was unlike anything Ethan had seen, sleek and layered, glowing faintly at the edges. "That would be me," Ethan replied, offering a polite nod. "You're the one needing repairs?" The alien woman's gaze swept over him. "Yes, do not waste my time. This armor must be restored to perfect condition." Her voice carried authority, yet there was a subtle note of curiosity, as if she were testing him. Ethan swallowed. "Right, of course. I'll start with a full diagnostic. Then I can repair or replace whatever needs it." She nodded once and turned, moving to a nearby chamber where the armor lay. Ethan followed. As he approached, he realized the armor wasn't just a piece of protective gear. It seemed alive in a way. Its surface pulsed gently as though it could respond to the wearer's thoughts. His fingers itched to examine it, to understand its mechanisms. "Careful," the alien said, her voice low. "This armor is linked to my body. It senses touch, movement, even intent. I've repaired a lot of complex systems," Ethan said with a small smile. "I'm sure I can handle this." He knelt, opening his toolkit. Hours passed as Ethan inspected the armor. Its design was intricate, far beyond any human engineering he had encountered. Components flowed into one another seamlessly. Circuits intertwined like living veins. He had to adjust his usual methods, relying on intuition and improvisation rather than familiar manuals. While he worked, the alien woman observed silently, pacing behind him. Her gaze was intense but not unkind. Ethan occasionally glanced up. "You really should sit," he said. "Watching me work won't make it go faster." "I do not trust it in anyone else's hands," she replied simply. Her words made him pause. "I see," he said carefully. "Well, trust is earned. Let's make sure this armor earns it then." She didn't respond immediately, but her eyes narrowed slightly. Ethan returned to his work, soldering delicate circuits and recalibrating the armor's reactive layers. Every so often, he paused to test the responses. The armor shimmered and flexed with him as though it were alive. Ethan's mind raced with ideas, thinking of ways to optimize it without damaging its delicate systems. By midday, the two had settled into a rhythm. Ethan worked in silence, focused, while the alien woman watched. Occasionally, she would issue a correction, pointing to a panel or a seam. Ethan would nod and adjust. Despite her commanding presence, he noticed a subtle respect in the way she communicated. Measured, precise, not overbearing. "You are skilled," she finally said, after he had made an adjustment to the armor's energy regulators. "Not many can understand its systems." Ethan shrugged. "I'm good with machines. I can figure out patterns even if they're unusual." He paused. "Though I have to admit this is the most unusual thing I've ever worked on." The alien queen, or so Ethan would eventually realize, allowed a small, almost imperceptible smile. "Unusual does not always mean difficult. But you handle difficulty with patience. That is rare." Ethan blinked. "Well, patience comes with being an engineer. You learn fast or you get hurt." There was a short silence. Then she spoke again, softer this time. "You are different from others who have come here." Ethan felt a flicker of pride but said nothing. He continued his work, adjusting the armor's power cores and fine-tuning its sensory network. Each time he tested a module, it responded instantly, as though it recognized his touch. He realized the armor wasn't just mechanical. It had a form of intelligence, a link to the alien woman herself. By late afternoon, Ethan had repaired the majority of the armor. But there was one final component, a central neural interface, delicate and highly advanced. Any mistake could render the armor useless or worse, dangerous. Ethan took a deep breath, carefully opening the interface. The alien woman stepped closer. Be cautious. This is the core. It is connected to me directly. I know, Ethan said, his hands steady. I've got this. He examined the interface, tracing the fine filaments and circuits. His mind worked through possibilities, calculating the exact adjustments needed. Sweat beaded on his forehead, not from fear but from concentration. One wrong move could ruin everything. Finally, after hours of careful work, he made the last connection. The armor's surface glowed steadily, brighter and more vibrant than before. He leaned back and wiped his hands. There, it's done. Fully operational. The alien woman reached for the armor, sliding into it with fluid grace. The moment she activated it, the armor hummed, energy coursing along its lines in response to her movements. She moved, flexed, and tested the armor, her body completely synchronized with it. It functions perfectly, she said, her voice calm but strong. You have done well, human. Ethan felt a surge of relief and pride. Glad to hear it. I wasn't sure if I'd figure out the last part. She turned to him, studying him closely. You are remarkable. Not just for your skill, but for your mind. Quick, adaptable, unafraid. Traits rarely found together in one being. Ethan laughed softly. I just do my job. I guess it's lucky my job matches your armor's needs. She regarded him for a long moment. Perhaps it is more than luck. As the sun began to set over the plateau, casting long shadows across the outpost, Ethan packed up his tools. The alien woman moved beside him, her presence both intimidating and strangely reassuring. He still had no idea of her true status, but he sensed she was extraordinary in ways beyond his understanding. You will stay here for now, she said, almost casually. Your work is not finished. There are other systems in need of your attention. Ethan raised an eyebrow. You mean more repairs? Yes, and perhaps more challenges. You have proven capable. I wish to see if your abilities extend beyond mechanics. He nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and apprehension. This assignment was far from ordinary, he realized. Whatever lay ahead, he would face it with the same determination that had guided him through countless repairs on Earth. For the first time in his career, Ethan felt that his skills mattered on a scale far larger than he had ever imagined. The outpost, the alien technology, the mysterious woman, everything hinted at a world of possibilities waiting for him. As night fell over the alien plateau, Ethan looked at the glowing armor and the woman who wore it. He did not know that she was a queen. He did not know the political weight, the dangers, or the responsibilities that lay ahead. But he did know one thing. He had stepped into a world far beyond human expectations, and his place in it was only just beginning. And for the first time, he felt ready. Ethan awoke to the soft hum of machinery filling the alien outpost. The early light of the planet's twin suns seeped through the observation window, casting a glow over the smooth metallic floor. His muscles ached slightly from the long hours of work the day before, but excitement pulsed through him. The armor he had repaired was functioning perfectly, and he could not shake the feeling that the woman he had been working for was unlike anyone he had ever met. He made his way to the workshop, carrying his toolkit. Today he had been assigned to inspect additional systems, some of which were part of the outpost's defense network. As he entered the main hall, he noticed the alien woman, Lyria as he had finally learned her name, standing in the center, observing a group of soldiers performing drills. Her presence was commanding. Even from a distance, Ethan could sense the respect and attention she demanded. Soldiers moved quickly, their every action precise and calculated. Yet despite the discipline, there was a subtle tension in the air. Something was brewing beneath the surface, though Ethan could not yet identify it. Good morning, human, Lyria said as he approached. Her tone was neutral, yet there was a hint of amusement, as if she enjoyed his unassuming nature. Morning, Ethan replied. I hope you slept well. I'm ready to start inspecting the systems you mentioned. Follow me, she instructed. Her stride was fluid, almost like water flowing over rocks, and Ethan struggled to keep pace. They passed through corridors lined with glowing panels and intricate machinery. The hum of the outpost seemed to resonate with energy, as if the building itself were alive. They reached a large chamber filled with a network of consoles and holographic displays. This is the main defensive array, Lyria explained. It monitors external threats and controls our shields. It has been behaving Unusually. Ethan stepped forward, kneeling before one of the consoles. He scanned the displays, noting unusual energy fluctuations. It looks like the system is recalibrating itself, he said. Are there any recent attacks or interference? Lyria shook her head. None that were reported. It is almost as if the array is anticipating a threat before it occurs. Ethan frowned. That's impressive. Adaptive systems like this usually require constant updates. If it's functioning independently, there's an advanced intelligence embedded in the software. He paused. It's almost like it's alive. Lyria's eyes glimmered. Correct. Few engineers understand that the intelligence of this array is linked to the well-being of the outpost itself. You will need to proceed with caution. Any misstep could compromise it. Ethan nodded. Understood. I'll be careful. For the next several hours, Ethan carefully examined the network. He traced circuits, adjusted energy flows, and recalibrated nodes to improve efficiency. Lyria observed silently, occasionally offering brief guidance. Despite her distant demeanor, Ethan noticed a subtle sense of trust growing. She allowed him to make decisions and adjustments without micromanaging, a rare trait among leaders he had encountered. During a short break, Ethan approached her cautiously. Can I ask you something? Ask, she replied, her tone neutral. Why are you so interested in watching me work? You don't usually do that with your soldiers. Lyria considered the question for a moment. You approach problems differently. You think creatively, without being bound by routine. That is valuable. Ethan smiled slightly. I guess humans do have a way of looking at things from a different angle. She nodded. Indeed. That perspective may be the reason why you have earned my observation. Just as Ethan was about to return to the consoles, a soft alarm sounded. Red lights flashed briefly, casting long shadows across the room. Lyria's posture stiffened immediately. External sensors detect movement near the perimeter, she said calmly. It is unexpected. Prepare yourself, human. Ethan's heart quickened. He had anticipated challenges, but nothing like this. He followed Lyria to the observation deck, where a large holographic display projected the outpost's surroundings. Small shadows moved across the rocky terrain. Pirates? He asked. Lyria shook her head. Not pirates. Too organized. Too deliberate. This is a strike team from a rival faction within our system. Ethan frowned. They're planning to attack the outpost? Yes, their goal is to destabilize the command. I am the target, she said. Her words were calm, but the weight behind them was clear. Ethan felt a rush of determination. Then we won't let them succeed. How can I help? Lyria's gaze softened slightly. You are not a warrior, but your knowledge, your understanding of systems, that may turn the tide, he nodded. Leave the armor and tech to me. I'll make sure it functions better than ever. Over the next few hours, Ethan worked furiously. He strengthened the outpost's defensive shields, rerouted power to key turrets, and programmed improvised traps using energy conduits. Lyria and her soldiers prepared for the approaching strike, their movements precise and fluid. As the enemy forces advanced, Ethan noticed a pattern in their approach. Using his knowledge of engineering and logic, he anticipated their movements and adjusted defenses accordingly. The outpost's response became almost prescient, catching the attackers off guard at every turn. During the battle, Ethan realized the armor he had repaired the previous day was more than protective gear. It interfaced with Lyria's own neural commands, enhancing her reflexes and movements. He watched in awe as she moved through the battlefield, striking with precision and grace, her soldiers following seamlessly. Your work has given me an advantage, Lyria said, activating a defensive pulse that deflected an incoming strike. I underestimated your value. Ethan shrugged, trying to hide his pride. Just doing my job, but Lyria shook her head. No, your job has saved lives today, including mine. The skirmish lasted several hours. Ethan's enhancements and quick thinking turned the tide in favor of the outpost. The rival faction, unable to overcome the adaptive defenses, retreated. Silence fell over the plateau once more. As the dust settled, Lyria approached Ethan. Her armor shimmered faintly, a reflection of the energy still coursing through it. You have proven remarkable, she said, not just in your skills, but in your courage and adaptability. Few humans could have done what you did today. Ethan felt a mixture of pride and disbelief. I didn't expect any of this. I just tried to think clearly, use what I know. That is precisely why you succeeded, she replied. Your mind is unbound by tradition, unafraid of innovation. That is the strength of humanity. For the first time, Ethan felt a deep sense of purpose. He had always been a skilled engineer, but here his work mattered in ways he had never imagined. Lives had been saved, and a queen, an alien leader of immense power, had relied on him. Tomorrow, Lyria said, her voice softer now, almost contemplative, we will need to inspect the secondary defense systems. There are vulnerabilities yet unseen, and your insight will be required. Ethan nodded. I'll be ready. I want to help however I can. As night fell over the outpost, Ethan looked out over the rocky terrain. The twin suns had disappeared beyond the horizon, leaving the plateau bathed in the soft glow of the outpost's lights. The battle had been won, but he knew this was only the beginning. He thought about Lyria, her strength, her intelligence, her grace, and realized he had only scratched the surface of understanding her world. Yet he felt a strange sense of belonging, as if he had stepped into a place where his skills were not only valued but essential. Ethan returned to his quarters, preparing for the next day. He knew the outpost's challenges would only grow, but he felt ready. For the first time in his life, he believed that humanity, through courage, creativity, and determination, could stand alongside even the most advanced alien civilizations. And though he did not yet know it, his bond with Lyria was beginning to shape something far larger than himself, an alliance that could change the course of the system itself. For now, though he rested, letting the quiet hum of the outpost lull him into sleep, dreaming of possibilities, challenges, and a future that was just beginning to unfold. The morning light crept across the alien outpost, reflecting off the metallic walls in sharp, dazzling patterns. Ethan stretched, feeling the lingering adrenaline from the previous day's attack. His body ached, but his mind buzzed with anticipation. Today, Lyria had requested his assistance again, and he sensed that the work would be even more challenging. He walked through the corridors, passing soldiers who nodded respectfully but curiously at him. Ethan had grown accustomed to their glances, their mixture of respect and disbelief that a human could be so useful in a world far beyond Earth. It was a feeling he had never experienced before, and part of him wondered what it truly meant to be seen as equal by beings so advanced. He arrived at the main chamber, where Lyria awaited him. Her armor gleamed faintly, catching the light in a way that made it look almost alive. She turned as he entered, her eyes sharp and calculating. Good, she said. We have much to do today. The secondary defense systems have irregular readings. I want you to inspect them thoroughly. Ethan nodded. Lead the way. They moved through the labyrinthine corridors, reaching a room filled with large consoles and holographic projectors. Here, the outpost's early warning systems, energy shields, and sensor networks were concentrated. Ethan felt a thrill of curiosity as he examined the alien designs. The systems were far more complex than anything he had worked with, yet he could see the logic within them. Be careful, Lyria said. These systems are linked to multiple layers of defense. Any error could trigger false alerts or worse. I'll be careful, Ethan replied. I've handled sensitive systems before. I just need to understand their structure. He knelt at a console, tracing energy flows, testing responses, and noting discrepancies. Lyria watched silently, her gaze assessing every movement. Ethan felt a strange mixture of pressure and reassurance under her observation. Despite her calm exterior, he could sense her reliance on his skill. Hours passed as he worked meticulously. Every so often he paused to ask questions or confirm details, and Lyria would provide brief, precise answers. Ethan noticed subtle hints in her speech, references to her authority and responsibilities, but he had yet to understand their full weight. To him, she remained an exceptional warrior, strong, intelligent, and commanding, but still a fellow being in need of assistance. During a pause, Ethan glanced at her. I have to ask, you move through these halls as if you own them. Are you a leader here? Lyria's eyes flickered. I am responsible for the outpost's safety. That is sufficient, Ethan shrugged. Fair enough. You certainly handle it well. She tilted her head slightly, studying him. You underestimate the importance of observation. Humans often fail to recognize influence beyond direct command. You, however, notice patterns quickly. Ethan felt a surge of pride. I suppose noticing patterns is part of being an engineer. I can't fix what I don't understand. Lyria's expression softened. Indeed, that is why you are useful. Not just your hands, but your mind. As the day progressed, Ethan discovered a hidden network within the defense systems. It was subtle, almost invisible, an adaptive subroutine designed to predict enemy movements based on probability models and past encounters. Humans had never created such a system on this scale. Yet with careful adjustments, Ethan enhanced its efficiency, allowing the outpost to anticipate threats more accurately. Impressive, Lyria said, watching the interface respond instantly to his changes. Few beings could comprehend this system, let alone improve it. I'm just applying logic, Ethan said modestly. Sometimes the simplest adjustments can make the biggest difference. Lyria nodded, her gaze lingering on him. Simplicity is often overlooked. Humans, it seems, excel in seeing clarity where others see complexity. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alert. The external sensors had detected movement near the outer perimeter once again. Ethan's pulse quickened. It seemed the rival faction had not given up. Lyria moved swiftly to the observation platform, gesturing for Ethan to follow. Holographic images of the rocky terrain outside the outpost filled the room. Ethan studied the movements carefully, noting subtle differences from yesterday's patterns. They are more organized today, he observed. They've learned from their mistakes. Indeed, Lyria replied. We cannot rely solely on reactive measures. Your ingenuity will be required again. Ethan nodded. I'll do my best. As the enemy forces approached, Ethan quickly implemented new defensive strategies. He rerouted power to shield generators, enhanced turret responsiveness, and created temporary energy barriers along expected paths of attack. Each adjustment required precise timing and careful calculation, but he felt confident in his understanding of the systems. When the battle began, Lyria activated her armor. Ethan watched as she moved with unmatched precision, her armor responding to every motion seamlessly. Her soldiers followed her lead, executing complex maneuvers that coordinated perfectly. With the adaptive systems Ethan had enhanced, Ethan realized that the combination of human creativity and alien technology created a synergy neither side could have anticipated. His adjustments allowed the defenses to adapt in real time, countering the enemy's strategies before they could fully execute them. During a particularly intense moment, Ethan noticed a breach forming near the perimeter. Without hesitation, he activated an improvised barrier, diverting energy from nearby systems to seal the weak point. The enemy forces faltered, caught off guard by the sudden adaptation. You are thinking ahead, Lyria said over the communication channel. Your mind anticipates their actions faster than my soldiers can respond. Ethan grinned, though his focus remained sharp. I'm just applying what I know. I've got a good view from here. As the battle raged on, Ethan continued to find creative solutions to unexpected problems. He modified energy flows, optimized shield frequencies, and even used redundant systems to create illusions that misled the attackers. Each action bought the outpost precious seconds, giving Lyria and her forces the upper hand. Finally, after hours of careful coordination and quick thinking, the rival faction withdrew. The outpost remained secure. Ethan leaned against a console, breathing heavily, exhilaration coursing through him. Lyria approached, her armor still glowing faintly. You have exceeded expectations, she said. Not only have you repaired and enhanced systems, but you have also demonstrated strategic thinking under pressure. Few humans could have done what you did today. Ethan shook his head, feeling modest but proud. I didn't do it alone. The armor, the soldiers, your leadership, it all worked together. I just tried to help. You have done more than help, she replied, her voice soft but firm. You have proven that humans are capable of contributing meaningfully to endeavors far beyond their world. That is rare. For the first time, Ethan felt the weight of his accomplishments. He had begun as a simple engineer, sent to repair alien technology, and had become an integral part of a mission to protect lives and maintain peace. He had earned not only respect but trust, a trust that transcended species and experience. Lyria's gaze lingered on him for a moment longer. Tomorrow we will examine other sectors of the outpost. Your skills will be required again, and your insights may prove even more valuable. Ethan nodded, a sense of determination settling within him. I'll be ready. Whatever is next, I'll do my best. As he returned to his quarters, Ethan reflected on the events of the day. He had faced danger, solved problems, and seen firsthand the power of collaboration between human ingenuity and alien technology. Yet he knew there was much more to learn. Lyria's world was vast, filled with complexities and challenges he could only begin to understand. He also realized that he had begun to respect Lyria not just as a warrior, but as a leader. Her intelligence, courage, and presence inspired him. He understood that her trust in him was not given lightly, and that his role in this outpost, though unexpected, was significant. As night fell, Ethan looked out over the plateau. The twin suns had disappeared, leaving the outpost bathed in soft artificial light. The stars above seemed closer here, clearer and more brilliant than he had ever seen from Earth. For the first time, he felt that humanity could truly make a difference in the galaxy, not just as observers, but as active participants. His skills, his thinking, and his courage mattered in ways he had never imagined. And though he still did not know the full extent of Lyria's status or the political stakes of the outpost, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. His journey as a human engineer in an alien world had only just begun. The quiet hum of the outpost accompanied him into sleep, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, one human mind could make a difference. Ethan woke to a tense silence that hung over the outpost. The previous victories had been hard-won, but they had not gone unnoticed. Intelligence reports indicated that the rival faction was regrouping, more determined than before. Ethan knew that the challenges ahead would test not only his skills as an engineer, but also his ability to think quickly under pressure. He gathered his tools and walked through the metallic corridors of the outpost, passing soldiers who moved with purpose. There was a quiet respect in their eyes, a recognition that he was no ordinary human. He had become part of something far larger than himself, a bridge between humanity and an advanced alien civilization. Lyria awaited him in the main chamber. Her armor shimmered faintly in the morning light, as if reflecting the tension that filled the outpost. She turned to him, her gaze sharp and unwavering. "Good. I hope to see you early," she said. "We have received reports of increased activity near the northern perimeter. You will need to inspect the systems there and ensure they are fully operational." Ethan nodded. "I'll get right to it." They moved quickly through the corridors, reaching a series of control consoles that monitored the northern sector. Ethan immediately began analyzing energy flows and sensor data, noting subtle irregularities that suggested enemy forces were testing their defenses. "They are probing," he said, "looking for weaknesses." Lyria's expression remained calm. "Then we will make sure they find none. Use your skills, human. I trust your judgment." Ethan felt a surge of determination. He worked quickly, rerouting power to reinforce weak points, adjusting shield frequencies, and calibrating sensors to detect even the slightest disturbances. His mind raced, thinking of ways to combine human intuition with the advanced alien technology at his disposal. Hours passed in intense focus. Every adjustment he made improved the outpost's defensive capabilities. Lyria occasionally offered guidance, but largely allowed him to work independently. Ethan realized that she trusted not only his technical skills, but also his judgment and creativity. During a short break, Ethan turned to her. "I've noticed that your armor interacts with your neural patterns in ways that are unique. It adapts almost like it can anticipate your intentions." "Yes," Lyria replied. "It is designed to respond to me instinctively. Few can operate it properly without integration. You have seen this firsthand." "I can see why," Ethan said, admiration evident in his voice. "It's remarkable technology, but I think we can push it further. Maybe optimize energy usage or response times." Lyria studied him for a moment. "I would trust no one else with such adjustments. Proceed if you believe it will help." Ethan smiled. He worked carefully, making small but significant improvements to the armor's energy flow and response mechanisms. Each change enhanced her agility and efficiency, making her even more formidable in combat. As they completed the adjustments, an alarm sounded throughout the outpost. Red lights flashed, and the hum of machinery intensified. The rival faction had launched a full-scale assault. Ethan felt a rush of adrenaline. "They're here," he said. "We need to activate defenses and coordinate with your soldiers." Lyria moved swiftly, her armor responding instantly to her commands. "Do as you've done before. Adjust, anticipate, and protect. I will handle the front lines." Ethan's hands moved quickly over the control panels. He rerouted energy to shield generators, enhanced turret targeting systems, and activated automated defense protocols. Each adjustment was precise, designed to counter the enemy's movements and exploit their weaknesses. From the observation deck, Ethan watched as Lyria led her soldiers into battle. Her movements were flawless, her armor responding seamlessly to every command. He realized that the combination of human ingenuity and alien technology created a synergy that neither side could predict. The enemy advanced in coordinated formations, but Ethan's enhancements allowed the outpost to anticipate each strike. Energy barriers blocked paths, turrets fired with pinpoint accuracy, and sensor arrays provided real-time intelligence on enemy movements. The attackers faltered, unable to adapt to the constantly changing defenses. During a particularly tense moment, Ethan noticed a breach forming near the central power core. Without hesitation, he redirected energy from non-critical systems to reinforce the shields. The breach was sealed just in time, preventing catastrophic damage. Lyria's voice came over the communication channel. "You are exceptional. Your decisions save lives and ensure victory." Ethan felt a mixture of pride and focus. "I'm just using what I know. It's teamwork. Your leadership, the soldiers, and the systems working together." As the battle continued, Ethan improvised additional defenses. He created temporary energy fields to mislead the enemy, adjusted shield frequencies to counter new attack patterns, and even used redundant systems to simulate vulnerabilities, drawing the attackers into traps. Hours passed and the enemy's advance faltered. Their formations broke and they were forced to retreat. Silence returned to the outpost, though the energy in the air remained charged with the aftermath of combat. Ethan leaned against a console, exhausted but exhilarated. Lyria approached him, her armor still glowing faintly. "You have surpassed all expectations," she said. "Not only have you repaired and enhanced our systems, but you have also demonstrated adaptability and courage. Few beings could have done what you accomplished today." Ethan shook his head, trying to remain modest. "I just did what I could. I relied on observation, logic, and timing. You and your soldiers did the rest." Lyria's gaze softened. "You have shown that humans possess a unique combination of intelligence, courage, and adaptability. Your presence here proves that our assumptions about other species can be challenged, and that humans can stand as equals in endeavors far beyond their world." Ethan felt a deep sense of pride and purpose. He had begun as a simple engineer, sent to repair alien technology, and had become an integral part of defending lives and maintaining peace. He understood that his skills mattered in a way he had never imagined. Lyria's expression grew thoughtful. "Tomorrow we will need to inspect the outer perimeter and the energy distribution systems. Your insight will be required again, and I expect your creativity to be applied fully." Ethan nodded, determination settling within him. "I'll be ready. Whatever comes next, I'll do my best." As night fell over the outpost, Ethan walked through the corridors, reflecting on the day's events. He had faced danger, solved problems, and seen firsthand the power of collaboration between human ingenuity and alien technology. He knew there was still much to learn, but he also knew that he was ready to face the challenges ahead. He thought about Lyria, not just as a warrior, but as a leader who inspired trust and respect. Her reliance on him was not given lightly, and he felt honored to play a role in protecting the outpost and its inhabitants. Ethan paused at the observation window, looking out over the rocky plateau. The twin suns had disappeared below the horizon, leaving the outpost bathed in soft artificial light. Stars filled the sky, brighter and more brilliant than he had ever seen from Earth. For the first time, he felt that humanity could truly make a difference in the galaxy, not merely as observers but as active participants. His skills, his thinking, and his courage mattered, and though he still did not know the full extent of Lyria's status as queen, he sensed the bond of trust and mutual respect growing between them. It was a bond that could shape the future of the outpost and perhaps even the system itself. Ethan returned to his quarters, tired but inspired. He knew the next day would bring new challenges, and he felt ready to meet them. As he drifted to sleep, the hum of the outpost and the distant twinkling of stars reminded him that even one human mind could make a difference in a vast, complex universe. Tomorrow, he would continue to prove that human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability could stand alongside the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Morning broke over the outpost, bathing the metallic structures in a pale golden light. Ethan awoke with a sense of anticipation and determination. Over the past few days, he had repaired armor, optimized systems, and defended the outpost against multiple attacks. Today, however, He sensed that the events ahead would be different, more decisive, more revealing. He gathered his tools and made his way through the quiet corridors. Soldiers nodded respectfully as he passed, a subtle acknowledgement of the human who had become essential to their defense. Ethan's mind replayed the battles and adjustments he had made, considering every detail, every improvement. The systems he had touched were now operating at peak efficiency, but he knew that vigilance was still necessary. Lyria awaited him in the main chamber, her armor glowing softly in the morning light. She regarded him with the same sharp, calculating gaze, yet there was something deeper in her eyes today, a mixture of respect, trust, and something he could not yet name. "Good morning, human," she said. "We face a challenge today that will test everything we have prepared. The rival faction has coordinated a large-scale assault, targeting multiple sectors simultaneously. Your skills will be crucial." Ethan nodded. "Understood. I'll do my best." "Not just your best," Lyria replied. "Your creativity, your insight, and your courage. All will be needed." They moved together to the central control hub, where holographic projections displayed the positions of enemy forces advancing on multiple fronts. Ethan studied the images, noting their formations, their timing, and their likely points of attack. "They're using coordinated strikes," he observed. "If we rely solely on automated systems, they'll find gaps. We'll need to combine strategic adjustments with our defenses in real time." "Exactly," Lyria said. "That is why you are here. Your mind complements the outpost's technology in ways no one else can." Ethan's heart raced. The stakes were higher than ever, but he felt ready. His hands moved quickly over the controls, rerouting power, enhancing shield responses, and preparing defensive mechanisms across the outpost. Lyria moved among the soldiers, her armor amplifying her strength, speed, and reflexes. Together they formed a synchronized team, human ingenuity and alien prowess united. The battle began almost immediately. Enemy ships and ground units attacked with precision, testing every system Ethan had improved. But he anticipated their movements, adjusting energy flows and activating defenses in response to subtle changes. Shields flared, turrets fired, and sensor arrays provided constant intelligence on enemy positions. Lyria moved through the battlefield like a force of nature, her armor responding flawlessly. She coordinated her soldiers, executing maneuvers that maximized the defensive systems Ethan had enhanced. Each strike she delivered was precise, calculated, and devastating. Ethan's adjustments were equally crucial. He created temporary energy barriers to redirect enemy advances, optimized shield frequencies to counter unexpected attacks, and rerouted power to critical systems under pressure. His mind worked faster than the enemy could anticipate, keeping the outpost one step ahead. During a critical moment, a group of enemy units broke through a peripheral shield. Ethan immediately redirected power from non-essential systems, creating a temporary barrier that held just long enough for Lyria and her soldiers to neutralize the threat. "You anticipate better than anyone I have ever known," Lyria said over the communication channel. "Your mind sees patterns even the outpost cannot." Ethan smiled, though his focus remained sharp. "It's all about observation and quick decisions, and having a partner who trusts you makes a huge difference." The battle raged for hours, with both sides testing limits and strategies. Ethan's improvisations and Lyria's leadership created a synergy that proved unstoppable. Slowly, the enemy's coordinated strikes began to falter. Their formations broke apart, and their retreat became inevitable. Finally, the last wave of attackers fell back. The outpost remained intact, fully operational and stronger than ever. Ethan exhaled, exhausted but exhilarated. He had played a critical role in defending the outpost, proving that human ingenuity could match, even enhance, advanced alien technology. Lyria approached him, her armor glowing faintly in the aftermath of battle. She stood before him, silent for a moment, her gaze assessing. Then, with a small, almost imperceptible smile, she spoke. "You have done more than repair systems or fight alongside us," she said. "You have proven that humans are capable of extraordinary things. You have earned the respect of soldiers, the trust of leaders, and the admiration of one who has seen countless civilizations." Ethan felt a mixture of pride and humility. "I just did what I could. I relied on logic, observation, and timing. You and your soldiers did the rest." "No," Lyria replied firmly. "Your actions changed the outcome. The outpost stands because of your decisions, your creativity, and your courage. That is not a small thing." Ethan looked at her, finally realizing the depth of what she was saying. He had thought of himself as an engineer, a problem solver, but here he had become more. He had become a trusted ally, a critical part of a civilization far beyond Earth. Lyria's expression grew serious. "There is something you must understand. You have worked alongside me, improved systems, and defended the outpost. Yet you do not know my full status. I am not merely a leader or commander. I am the queen of this civilization. Everything you have seen, every challenge you have faced, you have done it with the queen herself." Ethan froze for a moment. The words sank in, their weight almost overwhelming. "A queen?" he repeated. "All this time, you were a queen?" Lyria nodded. "Yes, and yet you did not falter. You treated the work as you always do, with skill, focus, and integrity. That is what makes you remarkable. Many would have been intimidated, but you acted as an equal, contributing meaningfully to the defense of my people." Ethan swallowed, a mix of awe and humility washing over him. I didn't know. I just focused on doing what needed to be done." "Exactly," she said, "and that is why your value is greater than most realize. Your presence proves that humanity can achieve greatness, that courage, intelligence, and creativity can stand alongside even the most advanced civilizations. You have earned a place here, not just as an engineer, but as a trusted ally." For a long moment they stood in silence, the hum of the outpost and the fading glow of the battle surrounding them. Ethan felt a deep sense of purpose and belonging. He had arrived as a human engineer, unaware of the magnitude of the world around him, and now he stood recognized not just for skill, but for character and courage. "You have changed my perspective on humans," Lyria said finally. "I believed that few could rise to such challenges, but you have proven otherwise. Your ingenuity and bravery have inspired my people, and they will remember your deeds." Ethan felt a warmth in his chest, a profound sense of achievement. "I never imagined that what I did could matter so much." "It matters because of who you are," Lyria replied. "Your mind, your courage, your determination, they represent the potential of humanity. You have shown that even a single human can make a difference across the stars." As the outpost settled into quiet vigilance once more, Ethan reflected on everything that had happened. He had repaired armor, optimized systems, defended the outpost, and earned the trust of a queen. He realized that human determination and ingenuity were not limited to Earth, but could extend into the galaxy, shaping outcomes and inspiring allies. Lyria regarded him once more. "Tomorrow we will continue to strengthen our systems, prepare for unforeseen challenges, and expand our reach. But today you rest. You have earned it." Ethan nodded, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. "Thank you for trusting me." "You have earned that trust," Lyria said. "Remember this. Your presence here is not just a contribution to one outpost, but a symbol of what humanity can achieve. Never forget that." As night fell over the plateau, Ethan looked out at the distant horizon, where stars shimmered like scattered jewels. He understood that his journey had only begun, but he felt confident in his ability to face future challenges. He had seen what human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability could accomplish, and he knew that he was part of something far greater than himself. For the first time, he felt that humanity could truly stand among the stars, not as observers, but as equals capable of shaping outcomes, defending allies, and inspiring civilizations. And though he had begun as a simple engineer unaware of the Queen's presence, he now understood that his actions, his mind, and his courage had earned him a place in a world far beyond Earth, a world where humans could truly make a difference. Ethan finally allowed himself to rest, knowing that the galaxy held countless challenges, but also knowing that his skills and determination would be recognized and valued wherever they were needed. The Queen's trust, the outpost's safety, and the lives saved were proof that one human, with courage and ingenuity, could indeed change the course of events in an alien world. And for Ethan, that was more than enough.